Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, May 2024. Aquarius, the month starts with a bang. Mars is becoming visible. Mars was invisible for 7 months. This is the planet that stays invisible the longest. It's too close to the sun for 7 months. And the ancient Babylonians made a big deal out of it. They said wherever Mars becomes visible, this is where something new is going to be born, and it's going to be a focus that you need to mobilize all your energy for quite a year, at least year and a half. And for us Aquarians, Mars becomes visible and is born in our third house. So new projects connected to the third house might be born from already the beginning of May, or maybe the whole May. Sometimes Mars becomes visible a couple of weeks later, we'll see. But May is when it's supposed to come out. And the birth of new ideas, third house is connected to the mind, the birth of new projects connected to, and where you're going to put a lot of energy. Either it might be connected to media, to writing, to advertising, to websites, to commerce, to business transactions, to learning something and training something. Those third house rules so many things. So rewind it back and listen. And this is a good time to start it because Mars is in its own sign. And Mars is not going to be born again in your third house. Yes, it will transit your third house in 2 years again, but never be that strong. When a planet is born again, it's 5 times stronger, the ancient said. So you'd have the courage, because the third house, the house of courage, to do difficult things. Mars gives you the courage in Aries to do a lot of difficult things you couldn't do before, and especially to overcome fear of speaking, overcome fear of being heard. You'd find your voice and you'd even become a dominant voice in some way. You might be a bit too uh, coming across strongly when you're expressing your communications, and that can create some competitiveness and fight in a, if you're working in a group environment where everyone's supposed to be equal, but you might take a leading role in a small group environment, or you might take some new project started connected to writing, to speaking, to third houses, any kind of communication, any kind of media, any kind of travel work as well. Or you might even start off with and it means that there will be really increased uh, information change over the next 1 2 years. A lot of it might be a bit of a monkey mind that you feel over, especially in May. You can feel overstimulation of your mind, but you might do some important teaching project or training project, or a lot of writing and speaking, or administrative work of some sort, or documents or papers, or very a lot of communications, emails. And this flow is quite increased for 2 years, but it's great for business. Mars in the third house is a business and a half. So business initiatives, because these are commercial transactions, marketing, advertising, connecting with others, you'll become more initiative into reaching out to clients or connecting with people, making associations, as long as you can lead it. Because Mars doesn't, oh, you can connect with such more ambitious people, more driven, youthful, with interesting ideas, which is the Mars energy. But again, be aware that it inclines to more confrontation mentally, with your opinions, with your communications. If you're impatient, missing details, if you're, because you want to push with projects. Mars in the third house wants to do many projects and does them quick, and you can do amazing things. Mars is in its sign, not just now in May, especially strong now in May, but over the next 1 2 years, because it's a cycle connected to writing, speaking, vehicles, third house, travels. You can have a lot more short term and often travels for the next 1 year or two. Maybe travel for a week somewhere, maybe for a day, maybe for a few hours, maybe just nipping into the next state or to the next country next to you. But it's not like travels where you go for half a year, you're gone. These are short travels under a month, and there's a lot of activity there, and a lot of, your mind is overstimulated. Your mind, you can do a lot of short messaging, a lot of information creation, uh, a lot of managing and organizing such information or social media or websites, and some project that starts going connected to websites online and so on, that starts moving. But also you might meet new people, as I said. Mars, oh yeah, in this third house, youthful, pushing, new, innovative. You might have a new way of thinking, break through old patterns of thinking, break through new websites over next, not just in May, next 2 years, because that's the new cycle. Okay, new vehicles. The other big thing is that there is a new moon right very close to the Jupiter Uranus conjunction that happened on April the 20th. And again, people said, why is nothing happening? Maybe I had, a normal day, April 20th, because Jupiter Uranus just started. So every time that place where they met gets activated, a new chapter of that story will unfold over the next 14 years. So the first activation ever of the Jupiter Uranus conjunction happens on May the 8th with the new moon. Its influence is for a whole month ahead, so till the new moon in June, that you properly now see the activation of Jupiter and Uranus in your fourth house. Go back to my April videos to understand what Jupiter Uranus, this epochal conjunction that happens only once in your lifetime in your fourth house, once every 84 years. No, never gonna happen. But the results of it will take 14 years to be seen. And the results are abundance and growth and opportunity and sense and meaning and purpose, all the beautiful words you can imagine coming to you from family, from home, from real estate, from traditions, from history. And that unlocking, first unlocking, starts around the whole March, May, from after the new moon on the 8th of May. So maybe an opportunity for you to live somewhere else, maybe a new surprising and incredible development in your family, maybe with your parents or you as a parent, maybe a new real estate or maybe a new place of living. And of course, if you're Aquarius ascendant, sometimes the fourth house, Taurus, might be your fifth house, or sometimes it might be your third house. We cannot know if you're using, if you don't use whole sign house system, but we're just talking that is the fourth house. But for someone, it might be the third house that this alignment is happening. For others, might be the fifth even already, or just the second still. But yes, if we're looking from whole sign perspective, something very important, especially in your personal life, and because you're ruled by Uranus, so this Jupiter Uranus activation, it's like this infusal of your Uranus. So Jupiter touches you once every 14 years. So infusal of new inspiration, new meaning, new purpose, new hope and faith for the future. I'm feeling it. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling it. This like a new me, new, more positive, more truthful and brilliant. You can as well. Jupiter is brilliant, is intelligent. This kind of renewal is going to happen with the new moon activation. Plus, all those themes of also fourth house, property, home, real estate, family, are activated later on by Venus. And Venus conjunct, Jupiter and the Sun conjunct on the 18th. Very good time if you want to do, to anything important to start when Jupiter conjuncts the Sun. Maybe some new Jupiter for you rules the two financial houses, the second and the 11th. Long-term goals and finances, maybe some idea can come to you around that time, around the 18th. And it might be connected, is the fourth house also, to real estate, to property, to home, to family. And then Venus joined Jupiter on the 23rd. Very beautiful energy, to something to feel at home, to find people that feel at home, to have very good sensual experiences. Again, something good with real estate. But Jupiter and Venus is very good for social activities, get-togethers, emotional healing in this fourth house. Also, this whole activation of the fourth house can be very illuminating to breaking old patterns from childhood, breaking away, because Uranus is to break away, infused through knowledge, through new knowledge, Jupiter, from old patterns, and suddenly you're freed from them. They might have been, is there in your family addictive pattern? Is there in your family poverty pattern? Is there in your family divorce pattern? A self-sabotaging pattern? All these fourth house activation, starting new cycle, Jupiter, Venus, Jupiter, Sun, Jupiter, Uranus, is promising you that you can get freed almost in a without effort, like divine grace, through some childhood and early childhood blockages, releasing it. And they can be like a healing crisis that's happening initially because the release of all those feelings, because the fourth house is where we store the feelings. It's, the bottom of the chart, our childhood, our early home environment, our ancestors and their curses and their broken patterns and their beautiful patterns as well. But it's almost like now it's an evolutionary opportunity for us, which very powerful in May, to be freed and to heal those ancestral and early family. And everyone's been messed up in some way, but it's the beauty of it. When you free it, when you release it, you release your own children from it, the next generation, even if they've been born already. When you break a pattern and when you're relieved from it, first of all, emotionally it gets lighter. So I expect a lot of Aquarians to feel this emotional lightness coming to them, this freeing, and this liberating energy there, cutting them from the patterns of the past and introducing new emotional, healthier patterns. But yes, these themes will stay with you, whether it's property, real estate, the ancestry, the family, for one more year very powerfully. Even though there will be source of something that's happening now, will be source of growth and development for you and abundance for the next 14 years, because one of the cycles is 14 years old, but the other two cycles are 1 year old, so you can even relocate, move, find place of living, start a family, or some kind of freedom, liberation from, family, as we said, patterns, or gain from real estate over the next 1 year, because those two cycles, Jupiter, Venus, Jupiter, Sun just started. But gradually you'll start feeling the themes also of the other house that Jupiter is moving to on the 25th of May. Jupiter is going to move into your fifth house. It's fantastic. What can I say? It's making a trine to you. From then on, you're protected. Your health wise can start improving. Whether it's your sun, moon, or ascendant, Jupiter is in a sign that's harmonious, is the same yellow sign, air sign, as your sun, moon, or ascendant, which are health factors. It can start strengthening your health. It can start protecting you physically even from danger. It's in a very good house, the house of good karma that Jupiter is entering, fifth house. It's especially powerful from the sun sign, I've noticed, and the moon, and the ascendant as well. But when Jupiter activates the fifth house, your luck starts unlocking. You'd immediately from the end of May, I think even before that, because of all the good aspects, you start feeling better. But it's a bit more introspective, more this gathered within energy, and then you start coming out like the sun. This is the house of the sun when that Jupiter enters the fifth, more center stage. Over the next 1 year, you'd allow yourself to be in the spotlight. You can start having some brilliant ideas. I remember when Jupiter was in my fifth house, I created a new website and created my first app. So I was in a very creative stage the last 12 years ago, and I became more artistic, more entertaining, more expressive. The first 3 years of making videos, I was kind of dull. But fifth house, you find when Jupiter trans is there, the inner star in you. You find and you become confident with your talents. These are your God-given talents, the ones you're born with that you carry from past lifetimes. Fifth house is the good karma from past lifetimes, first of all, and the talents that we don't bring up all the talents from us from past lifetimes. But you bring some here. So these are the natural talents you have that Jupiter can unlock. And I discovered natural talent. And of course, that's Gemini, for communicating, for media, for expressing stuff. You're also Aquarius. I don't know. Think back 2012, 13. Did you feel more empowered? Did you feel more, did something good and positive happen in your life? And for me, it was a lot of creativity, a lot of creative ideas, like the birth of my baby. Not my baby business was then when it was just flowing with new ideas. I was creative output squared because Jupiter expands your creativity, so expands your ability to shine. Your flirtatious side as well, it can expand definitely. It's the fifth house. You can become more flirty. That's why you can attract romance. If you're single, this is a very auspicious time over from the end of May till the end of May 2025, where you can have more than one. You can date not multiple people, but definitely you can have a very good dating life. If you're already in a relationships, they can be falling in love with your partner again, or falling in love with someone else, or having discovering new fun things to do. Fifth house is to enjoy yourself, to let your hair down, to shine, to reconnect with the inner child, not to heal the trauma like in the fourth house, but just because you've healed the trauma with Jupiter in the fourth house, or at least a few layers or one layer of it, you become lighter. So now you can let your child shine again, the suppressed child from before. And that's why you can become more creative. You can paint, draw, dance. It's fantastic time to start new hobbies that will stick for you for many years and you would enjoy them, and they will be a source of joy, of even abundance. This is Jupiter. You can go dancing with Gemini there in your fifth house, play tennis, or you can something in pairs. Gemini, I don't know, you can be writing, it can be speaking, it can be anything Gemini that you know, or whatever it is, something with the hands, knitting, walking. Gemini is also walking. You can find things that really inspire you back to feel in love with life over the next 12 months. Reconnect with life. And when do you feel most alive? When you're in love, when you discover a new passion, when you have a child. Fifth house, that's why it rules children. You can get pregnant, you can have a child, or your relationship with your child can improve it if you one exists already, especially firstborn. They can start a new chapter in their life where they become wiser, where they become your relationship improves, or something good comes in their life. Um, yeah, Jupiter is the planet of pregnancies, not pregnancies, but fertility in Gemini. More twins can be born overall. But it's not necessarily you have to have children. As I said, creative, having more fun, just enjoying yourself more. And of course, it can enjoy yourself in ways that are not the healthiest, drinking whatever sometimes. This is also part of the manifestation on the law of vibration, but it's kind of more joyful party time, larger than life expansion. And if it's your sun, moon, or ascendant, if it's your sun in Aquarius, your career can expand, your opportunities there can grow and happen in a very positive way. Good luck and good karma you unlock. Maybe you've done in a past lifetime something good. It gets unlocked now with Jupiter in the fifth house. Um, if it's your moon in Aquarius, definitely can be pregnancy, definitely can be falling in love, definitely can be just emotional healing, feeling happy overall, creativity. If it's your ascendant there, everything that I talked about specifically for you. For the sun is usually more about career or important men in your life. For the moon, your emotional relationship, health, and the family life. For the ascendant is everything. And I forgot, before Jupiter moves into your fifth house of joy and feeling happier and so on, there'll be a full moon in Sagittarius. Very good full moon in your 11th house on the 23rd. So the next 2 weeks, and 23rd can be some peak social activity, some friendship, camaraderie, connecting with like-minded people. There is emotional bond there. It can be a great party because it's very festive sign, Sagittarius, and it's exactly opposite Jupiter just before it moves into Gemini. And Venus, party time. So go out, be socially active around that time. If anything, go on a trip with friends, something like that. Or just you might meet, or some communication or social activity can, or goals and dreams is the 11th house, can reach a peak of some sort, or fulfillment, or you're seeing the result of something that you completed, that you're rewarded with. More income can come as a result around those 2 weeks after the full moon. So thank you so much, Aquarius.